And we are live. We're ready to talk about some Marvel up in this bitch, right? Because I got my Martin Scorsese shirt. I'm ready to talk about some Marvel.
Exactly. I mean, that is what is important. You know, a studio with a plan that has some sense of direction.
What's this thing you say? A plan? A plan? It's crazy how one studio puts out this plan-ish, and this other studio is still just circle jerking its way through everything as they go. It's just fascinating to watch.
I kind of feel like I have a Captain America t-shirt, and I really felt like I just wanted to, you know, tear through this like the NWO reveal or something like that. I'm like, boom, oh my gosh, he's Team MCU. I can't believe it.
He's been broken in half.
Yeah. Go get him, Hulkster. But whose side is he on?
His heart's been broken in half by the Warner Brothers executives.
Oh man, always.
As soon as I can pull this bad boy up, we just got tagged in this thing, so I feel like I'll share this real quick. And I think this kind of sums a lot of things up. There's no audio to this, so
no,
we'll just it's just a nice video.
What's that? BT 32086. Bam. What's up?
So here we go. Somebody tagged us in this. Oh my god. There we go. You know, Snyder saving WB and Wong. Boop. And that pretty much sums it all up right there.
The shitter. Yeah. There we go.
He saves him and womp. All right. So that pretty much sums it up, guys. That's going to wrap up this stream.
Couldn't say better than that.
Man. What's up, everybody? Is that actually Film Cop? Film Goblin? Is that actually really him? Or is that just somebody
impersonating? Imposter. Hey, no. Stupid sheep. No, he wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready. Oh my god.
Oh man. So I guess to start off some of the news, we'll get to DC eventually. As you guys saw the Matt's glorious thumbnail, I liked it. I thought it was good. It was catchy. Caught my eye. That's important. I'll check it out later. Oh,
if people read, they would know about what that means. Reading is your friend, kids. Like I watched it. We put that thumbnail up, and then boom, all of a sudden we lost like 10 subscribers, and I was like, oh, cool. People just didn't read any of these articles. That's cool. All this information that just came out, no one read them. All right, cool.
Exactly. No kidding. Me on a daily basis, but you know, we still truck along as DC fans, just loving this. So I get I couldn't find a good picture, so I'm not going to show the lineup for the MCU, but Phase 4 MCU has been revealed. Some exciting stuff
with some additions
and subtractions
because there was no Blade on this.
Yeah, and I thought that was odd, just kind of floating around. And then you also had apparently Captain America 4 is supposed to be in the works, but that's not on here. So very, very interesting. Matt and I were talking offline before we got on here about how quickly, that was the first thing that I had noticed, that they really want to push out a lot of these movies, and that I feel like it's wishful thinking, especially considering how much Black Widow has continued to be pushed back. And now they're like, nope, solid. You're going to get it. You'll get it in July, no matter what. So it seems like they've committed to that. 4 movies by the end of this year, and then another 4 in 2022. And then as of right now, 2 in 2023. So they're going to crank them out 3 years.
Blade. So Phase 5, but see, the Phase 4 thing goes all the way up to 2023. That's what and they announced Blade at the end of Infinity War, so 2019.
Yeah, 19, yeah.
So that's so that's why we're like, okay, I guess we're just anyway. That's I guess if it is Phase 5, god damn, that's taking a lot. Anyway, and oh yeah, Army of the Dead. See, we got our tickets for May 14th.
Matt scoured the dark web and found them.
First, we were going to have to go to a crappy theater, but then we found then our normal one had them. So thank God.
I am such just an old, like, I don't even know the right word. Just snooty, I guess is the best way, because when you're talking about, okay, we got to go to Century, fine, all right, I just want to see the movie. At least can we get Summit with the half-ass reclining chairs that our typical theater that we go to is luxury, like legit luxury. It has a nice little a table, that you can move, and then it's got thick, newly replaced reclining chairs that are nice. And then we have like a luxury, I don't know. And it has the reclining chairs, kind of cool, but it's not quite the full luxury. So initially we were going to watch Army of the Dead on that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. It is what it is. I just want to watch Army of the Dead in the theater. That's fine. It's better than we have a couple that are in the ghetto. That's what I was expecting Matt to be like. Yeah, we got to go to this one. And
there we go.
The old rundown mall. Yeah, boom, nice.
These are the luxury ones, like these big old recliners and stuff. All this leg room in front of you. This is what we normally go to.
It's glorious. Yeah. It's great. Even on one of you can see on the back of that, they have a wall. So there's two locations near us. One of them has a wall, which is kind of cool. It blocks the people that are in front of you. You get a nice view like that. That's an awesome theater. I love it. You don't pay too much for the tickets.
So no, these were actually cheaper than the other ones, by the way.
What?
Yes.
So you owe comic movie Mark some money.
It was 50 cents, but it was $25.50 for this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, and then Matt surprises me. Happy Mother's Day. I don't know. And he says, "Hey, Galaxy has it." I'm like, I was stoked for that. So now I'm ready to go. Before I was like, okay, sure. And now I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So Army of the Dead.
Well, maybe by you, Hardboiled, but the Cinemark by us does not. We have like one that has like these crappy ones.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Luxury. Like it's not even a full luxury. It's got the reclining chairs, sort of. And that's about it.
It must be your area, man, Christopher, because I swear it was tough to get, like, even when Army of the Dead came about and it just popped up on Galaxy, half the theater was already gone for the time that we wanted. So, shit. And then I remember I had a friend trying to get Mortal Kombat tickets to watch that in theaters, and he was on the freaking thing every day. And then boom, the thing was sold out. There was only the same little corner in every single time. It was so funny. The same front right corner every time was available at all these for the whole weekend. And it was crazy. I was like, holy crap.
Maybe it's a regional thing. Yeah, possibly. No. We're back west. Nevada's Florida. Pretty
fancy.
Nevada's relatively open. I wouldn't say we're fully open, but relatively. And you have to still, they're only selling so many tickets. It's still kind of broken out. Or there is the one theater that we were talking about that's not the full luxury. They do $100.
Tried to stop them.
But they do $100 to rent out the whole theater, and then you get 20 people, which is kind of cool. So there's that. So, but it seems like a lot of things are open. You stop by like a Lowe's, a Home Depot, a mall. There's quite a bit of traffic. So
good morning from Sweden.
Top of the morning to you, laddie. Is that what you're gonna say? I don't know.
I was gonna say get your wooden shoes, but that's like Denmark. We don't have nothing for Sweden.
Yeah, sorry, but thank you for joining. That's what we got. We got a big thank you.
Oh man. Anyway, so
and our motorized what? So ours have like this little stick on our Cinemark, and you gotta like clunk versus the Galaxy. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Gotcha.
The Cinemark one. The Galaxy has the button. Has a nice button. The Cinemark, it's like a small. It's not even like a full reclining handle. That you can really get your hand around. It's just like a little stick. Like kink. It's a pain in the butt. Anyways, all right, back to MCU's Phase 4.
Yeah, Phase 4. So as Shane was talking about before we squirreled our way over to theaters, I swear we need that uploaded in here. Squirrel.
Exactly.
But I was more shocked by the time frame on a lot of these, how fast they were pushing them out, especially like Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. It was July of 2022.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a little over a year away. And we have like no information about it. And I was just kind of blown away. I was like, there's no way. And during this pandemic and everything like that, I mean, are they really going to be able to knock these out? Because they have like a bunch of movies in 2022 and a bunch of movies this year that are coming out. And I mean, they're looking at like 4 movies in a year.
I'm not even quite sure if like Thor and Black Panther, definitely not Black Panther. I'm not even sure if Thor is filming yet.
Oh, it's already filmed. It just finished. It's about to finish production. Yeah, because I know Taika Waititi came out and said they were about 3 weeks away from finishing.
Mark's joke.
They were about 3 weeks away from finishing that one. Yeah, because haven't you seen that set videos and stuff? It's so sad to see because they have Batman there, and it's so sad to see him bald and he looks like crap, and he's gonna be MCU-fied. I've
just been I guess so disconnected. I've been following more like of Spider-Man and all that stuff, but yeah, not much from Thor. Ugh. Don't come here for your Marvel news, ladies and gentlemen.
Good thing we're talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, slightly disconnected. I don't know. I'm not really necessarily super excited for any of these. What's a little sticker?
I get a big tub of popcorn
all the time. Surprise, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Like a small, and anyway.
So not even the tub; it's the bag.
Yeah, yeah. Not even that. I get the little cardboard containers.
Exactly. Yeah. But none of these I'm really super excited about. I will say I'm curious. I'm curious on some of them. Spider-Man: No Way Home. Are the rumors true? We just had Andrew Garfield came out and apparently said, no, I didn't even get a call, but who knows? Jason Momoa also said he could get punched in the face if he's Aquaman. So I'm curious on that one. And then Black Panther, they're obviously not going to move forward. What's the actual character's name? T'Chaka?
Wait, for Black Panther?
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, but
T'Chaka was his dad.
Yeah, his dad. I was trying to think of the Jim Carrey reference for a second, but I decided not to.
Oh, Quincy Ocho. Anyway,
yes, exactly. So, but yeah, so I'm curious on a couple, but I don't know. Not super stoked or excited for anything.
I mean, they even announced a Fantastic Four movie, so they are going to move forward with Fantastic Four. It's funny to say when you're talking about Andrew Garfield there, it's like there is like that thing that people have been overbooking the MCU so much lately, like expecting all these potential big things to happen, and like nothing happens.
Yeah.
So people, it's almost like 2014-15 BVS times where, Joker was going to be an old Robin, all these freaking things all these crazy things that were going to happen, like in Batman vs Superman and Justice League and stuff. And now it's like people are way overbooking freaking MCU movies or even that shit on the Disney Plus, because everybody thought that WandaVision was going to be this big thing. Everybody thought Falcon Winter Soldier was going to be this big thing, and they just kind of go into meh mode, and then it's just so funny if everybody's just expecting this big thing to happen with the Spider-Man movie. And all this crap also happened with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And it would be funny if it just gets so streamlined and just like nothing happens.
Have you heard about like different TV shows and sitcoms and different things that get ad-libbed or improved? And then the writers, they're not pissed, but the writers are like, damn, that was funny. I wish I would have wrote that. I've heard a couple different stories. The Office is one that specifically comes to mind. And that's kind of what I think about when I think about like WandaVision, for example. If you're writing that show, you have it completely planned out, and then you start seeing the stuff on the internet, and you're like, shit, that would have been a good idea. Because everything is being fantasy booked to the nines and just beyond what is actually happening. And then it does feel like a letdown, and then fans are like, this is terrible. And I kind of feel like No Way Home might be like that. Like if Andrew Garfield's telling the truth and there's all these rumors, oh no, Tobey Maguire's on set, blah, blah, blah. And then it's really not that. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.
Well, you remember one of the things they wanted to do was have Tobey Maguire play Uncle Ben. For some of these, that rumor that was going around for a while.
About that.
It'd be funny if that's just in the way they go. And that's it. He's in a brief thing.
He's not actually
with great power comes great responsibility. Boom. That's it. That's all he fucking says.
And it's just it's a flashback, and it's kind of like grainy. I'm like, it's got that cloudy fuzz that a flashback would have.
Just the wave. Like,
exactly.
Then it comes back, and that means nothing for the story.
Yeah,
absolutely nothing.
Perfect. There you go. There
we go. We just confirmed it. That's what's going to happen.
Fuck. I want to go back up to this real quick, not to be, squirrel, but that would be a great follow-up name. However, we have all this merch already, so we're stuck. CMC. Run CMC.
Another thing I thought was pretty funny with that Marvel lineup was the title for Captain Marvel 2 was called The Marvels. Now, Shane and I were kind of talking about this a little bit, like it might be a comic series or it might be the group that they're called, but these names seem so lazy. Yeah, I don't know. It just, I guess in the grand scheme of things, like maybe comic book movies just don't have great titles. Actually, I don't know. You try to think about it. I guess Batman v Superman, but then you hear about Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder talking about how they didn't exactly want that. The Dawn of Justice, that's all studio stuff. Well, somewhat studio stuff,
right?
Anyway,
largely,
yeah. And then you're kind of thinking about it, but like Wakanda Forever, okay, that one's fine.
I like that.
That one makes sense. But like the Marvels is just so lazy. It's like they might have, like, instead of Terminator Judgment Day, it should be called the Terminators. Like it's because there's two Terminators in it. Like
exactly. There's multiple. Genius.
It was just. I was just like, God damn! Someone just phoned it in so hard on that one.
Oh man, I actually feel like the movies that had Nolan's influence, the titles were awesome. Like when Man of Steel got released. Because of, you were looking at Batman Begins is that's okay. But then The Dark Knight, and and that it had, I remember when that first came out that it was going to be called The Dark Knight. I thought that was awesome. And then same thing with Man of Steel. When it's like, yes, that's perfect. You don't have to say Superman. It doesn't have to be titled Superman. The fact that it's just titled Man of Steel and it's a Superman movie is beautiful. I love that. So those ones, I think there's some creativity, but yeah, it's kind of fallen to the wayside a little bit in terms of how creative we get with different movies. And for the most part, I feel like Marvel's kind of stuck to maybe not always, but like Captain America and then it was like Captain America something else, and then Captain America something else, and then
Thor Love and Thunder. Like that's just stupid.
Right.
Like it's just, I don't know. That just seems stupid. And then
yes, exactly.
What is it? Ant-Man and Wasp. What is it? Quantuminium or something like that.
Yeah. No, I actually like that one because it was like Quantumania.
Oh, yeah.
Ant-Man and Wasp. And then
shut up.
Dun, 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 Quantumania.
Welcome, everyone.
See, so this is what we were talking about. This is what I thought it was. This is what I don't know a ton about Captain Marvel, so yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, this is what we were talking about before. Is that it's those three were the Marvels along with some others, as my understanding, but I guess in the comics that's not necessarily the case.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I googled it real fast. I couldn't find anything with like called the Marvels. I get it. That I totally understand that. Where did it go? There it is.
Do you?
No, I do, but it just seems so lazy. It just, I don't know. It just. Well, there's multiple Terminators in Judgment Day. Why not call it Terminators? That's what I mean. I get it. I really do. It just seems lazy. I don't know. It just like they just put an S on the end of it, and I was just like, that's just fucking. That's just so goddamn stupid. Anyway, hey, we can't all be perfect.
Exactly. We can't be Martin Scorsese. Hated the Batmobile was called the Tumbler. Yeah. There are definitely certain things that Nolan took liberties on that he decided, no, the Tumbler is not even really a Batmobile in my opinion. You look at again, I'm a Snyder show, but the Snyder Batmobile is got to be up there for one of my favorites. It's so awesome. It fits in the vein of a tumbler, like what it's supposed to. It actually drives, which is awesome. And then the fact that it's really versatile and but still looks like a Batmobile at the same time, and that's not what the tumbler was. And then they took some other liberties with, I want to be able to turn my head or whatever, and he's like, oh, okay, now he's got this thin neck cowl kind of thing. And yeah,
it does. It really does. All right. So do you have anything else on Marvel?
No.
And their Phase 4. I'm interested in Fantastic Four. I am curious to see where Marvel does do. Well, I'm curious to see what a Marvel does do with Fantastic Four. That's going to be an interesting one to me. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Oh, his name's Robin.
You should use your real name. Yeah. You should use your real name. Robin. Oh, get the fuck out of here. It should have been Dick.
Yes, exactly. Resubscribe to HBO Max just to watch Mortal Kombat. I wouldn't say to watch Mortal Kombat. I am enjoying HBO Max for other things, so I would say resubscribe for that. It's got some cool documentaries. Still has a lot of DC movies on there, some classic stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. Still has Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Now, see, that's something I'd be down for. Actually, that'd be great. I would. Oh man!
What about an all-Canadian Fantastic Four?
You're a hoser, eh?
Exactly.
Dr. Doom is.
Oh, excuse me, Dr. Doom. Did that hurt?
Pardon. All the doors
what
are unlocked.
Exactly. It's like the most polite superhero group ever.
He runs over a moose, and that was this big thing.
Yeah. How dare you? Oh man.
Yeah. So reading. No, I mean, yeah, there's always that as well. I mean, depends how much, if you liked it enough. I don't know. HBO Max is cool. I've gone to it every once in a while, but after Mortal Kombat was really bad. Mortal Kombat.
I wouldn't say I subscribe for the new movies that have come out. I think I'm more subscribed for all the nostalgia, different, as I said, documentaries. Matt turned me on to the, what is it called again?
Cut that out. I'm going to cut that out now.
Matt turned me on. What is what's the documentary with the theme park?
Action.
Yeah.
Class Action Park.
Yeah. It's fantastic. This shit's insane. So,
dude, if anybody hasn't seen Class Action Park, go watch it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but me, I was like, man, that's the era that I just missed out on. I'd love to do that. Like, that's just that park and everything. Just no one gave a shit. People died. They had a helicopter kids out all the time.
Oh man, and it was like
kept going. And he had a fake insurance company. I'm like, that's America.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
And then when kids come hobbling into school with broken bones and stuff, Action Park. Yeah. Action Park. Oh, good summer. It was
natural water, wasn't chlorine filled and stuff like that. So it was like freezing cold.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I just love that. Kids fucking, that way
it was close for us, but we almost had
else has a tiny dick too,
and exactly. We almost had that. We have what's called the Truckee River, and it comes from Lake Tahoe, and it was freezing cold one summer, and us idiots twice. People were legit dying. Because
it was for my birthday.
That's right.
I think it was for my birthday.
I thought you were gonna die. I thought for sure.
No, I was.
You were chill. I did not. I thought I was gonna lose you. You were going into some bushes. I'm like,
the first time.
No, Matt, and you're just like, what?
Just let the river take you.
And I'm like, oh no. Matt was about to go through some bushes through this river. It was whitewater rafting. We're on tubes pulling
we're on $20 tubes from Good Sports or whatever it is, sporting goods store.
Big Five, yeah. Oh man, and it was freezing cold that year. It's moving. I think what would you say a typical coasting session would be? 3 hours.
So from the point A to point B, that we would go
to coast down. You get
3 to 4 hours.
Usually,
that's how fast the river moved you.
Yeah. And then one year, I remember Matt's girlfriend dropped us off, and it was 45 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Or am I
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes. So
the river was moving so much
we
faster.
We didn't have one sip of beer because we were scared for
and our
lives.
friend Tommy, who's built even kind of smaller than Shane.
He's
much
pretty thin. Yeah.
Yeah, skinny guy. The rapids were launching him up, and they actually launched him up out of the tube. Like he went up in the air, fell between us in the river, and we had to grab him.
We pick him up. But that was on trip 2. That's the thing that I laugh about is we went down that fucking river twice in the same year that it's killing other people. We decided
there was
once we're gonna go. It was just me and you. And then we decided, you know what? Let's go again. Let's tempt fate.
There's all these busted tubes and like deflated tubes and everything all along the trees from all the people dying and stuff. No, and legitimately a lot of people died that year. And we're like, let's go down the river.
There were like legit ripped up tubes. Like it looked like a scary movie that were just in this river, just being pushed, around branches and stuff. That's when I thought. So we were tied together. We're in 2 different tubes. We're tied together. We have our beer cooler that we're pulling. And there's a part where the river kind of splits and, some trees and shrubs and stuff. So that's what I'm picturing. Matt goes down the part with the trees. So I'm sitting there like freaking out like, Matt. And he's just got the calmest look on his face like, what? And then we make it through. I think somehow he pulled me down and then we're coasting. He's like, you good? I'm like, yeah. Are you good? Yeah. All right, here we go. Crazy times, my friends. Crazy times.
And we were adults, and this is not kids.
No,
we had reasonable. We had things to live for.
Yes, at that point. Well, I don't think I had any kids at the time. But I might have been married. Maybe I can't remember. So I have one thing to live for.
Jesus, Mom. So the Martian enjoying people dying.
Whoa, no. We're just stupid.
We were just talking about how other people were dying.
Yeah, like we were trying to paint a picture about how dangerous this river was, and we're just stupid idiots. If you only knew half the things that we did. Well, I look back now as a still immature 34-year-old, and I'm like, how are we living? More stories for another time, but there's fun stuff.
All right. Yeah, so let's talk about a company that doesn't know what they're doing. Let's talk about the DC. So everything that happened with DC recently, a lot of Hollywood Reporter articles coming out. It almost makes you feel like there's still this internal war going on of somebody trying to put out this information with this information. Oh, okay, so we got to kind of hide up the fact that Toby Emmerich may or may not be getting the boot pretty soon with this other Superman concept and what the future of DC is going to look like moving forward after Flash. It's, a lot of people are excited about Toby, possibly, there's a chance that it might happen. But at the same time, to me, it's like the well has kind of already been poisoned by him. I don't really know.
And now he's going to Netflix?
Yeah.
Following Snyder? No, I don't want that.
Yeah. I was just like, people were like, oh, damn. And like, maybe he'll go to Netflix.
No.
Like, no.
Don't
let this
Snyder be like, fuck you, man. Like, get out of here. As long as
he's going to try to make Army of the Dead PG-13.
Exactly. There's a mandate on Army of the Dead now.
Yeah, it needs to be an hour and a half and PG-13.
Exactly. We are from Nevada, my friends. Nevada. Northern Nevada. The better part. The better half.
Yeah. God damn it, Shane. Don't sound too elitist.
So got that out there. I know, with my reclining luxury chairs.
So, okay, let's talk about some of the things here. I guess we're going to have a new Superman. We already kind of knew about this. Yeah, we know he said no, but that was actually something that he was trying to do. And so people are assuming that he's looking for a job. And I'm like, okay, so yeah, he could be looking for a job. But again, to me, the well's kind of already been poisoned. I don't really see, anyway. But the fact that he even tried to go over there is what I thought was kind of like, man, you suck at everything you've done so far. Like, don't ruin Netflix. Go over somewhere else. Go to Disney Plus, motherfucker. go fuck that thing up.
Exactly.
Anyway, have we actually heard Jason Kilar talk? Like, has he talked? Because I haven't heard nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, he does some tweets where he's just boasting HBO Max and other things, saying how great this is and how great that is and how great the WB studio down in Burbank is. I saw that where he was that little tour that we took with the houses and stuff that they have on the back lot and everything. Like that's all I see.
A shrine to Zack Snyder. Yet we're gonna stab him in the back.
But so as they've been talking about the Superman, and it seems more official than ever now at this point, we are going to get a Black Superman. A lot of people assumed it was going to be like a Calvin Ellis or a Val Zod Superman, but these articles are pretty much saying it's going to be a Kal-El Superman. So for some reason, they still want to tell the story with this character, but just switch him out. Like, I just don't. And it's so, this is not going to be necessarily a rant, but like just reading the reactions to this, I went on so many DC pages, just random DC pages that, yeah. So I went on a bunch of random DC pages, ones that I know that may not necessarily like the Snyderverse or anything like that. Like just, I went all over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, DC pages. Look, I had a lot more time available today for things, but I was like looking and I could not find a single person in the comment section that liked this idea on social media. I could not find one person that was like, oh, okay, yeah, who cares? This is a great idea. It was either, what are you doing? Why don't you get Henry Cavill back? Or why can't this, or at least I think the most fairly worded ones were, why isn't it Calvin Ellis or Val Zod? Why are you trying to make Kal-El black? And like, I cannot find a single positive about this idea so far. And I was just like, wow, like this just could totally blow up in their face on how they pursue this. And I did start thinking a little bit today. I was like, well, I guess here's one small positive was that at least they're not diving back to the Christopher Reeves well, because that's kind of where I thought they were going to go. At least they're going out on a risk, I guess. So with Superman, like that's the closest thing I can. And the other part of it was that it could be dated during the 20th century. So, a lot of possibilities with that. And I guess, all those bloggers that bitched before that Superman shouldn't be controversial, I guess now are going to probably be on board, even though this more than likely is going to be a very controversial Superman. And especially if you're landing him in the 20th century, and I can already picture several different type of decades that you may drop him in to make more conflict out of a situation. But it's mind blowing to think that this is what they think is going to get them money. And all I can think of is they're like, well, look at Black Panther. Look at the domestic numbers it did, because Black Panther is one of the highest grossing domestic movies. For Marvel. I think it might be other than like Infinity War and Endgame, but Solo. And they're looking at those numbers, probably thinking they can really tap into the market here. But I mean, when you look at the overseas markets where they've been pandering to China so much, Black Panther did terrible in China. So it's like, okay, so why it just seems like nothing makes sense to these guys. They just throwing shit out of the wall. And as Shane has kind of said before, like with the Peacemaker thing, it's like if Peacemaker fails, well, it failed because it's Peacemaker. No one gives a shit. So it's like if this fails, it's going to fail because it's not a traditional Superman, and that's why they don't like it, and blah blah blah. It just seems like they're building in excuses from the start. And it's just like, okay, instead of just working with what you have. And I can't tell you how many people were like, what about Henry Cavill? What about Henry Cavill?
Oh my God.
I know Henry Cavill is not the easiest to work with. That shouldn't be for a lot of people, that shouldn't be, unknown. He's been reported at several times being talked about. He's hard to work with. He wants more money than WB is willing to pay. But at this point, just do it. Because I don't, and especially it was on Henry Cavill's birthday of all fucking things. Like, I'll do the Shane in this one. I'm going to make the wrestling reference for people that know anybody named CM Punk. He was talking about how he got fired on his wedding day. He got the FedEx papers in a podcast. He talked about getting the papers from FedEx in the mail on his wedding day, and they knew it was his wedding day to get him fired. And like I was
they overnighted it.
Yeah, they overnighted it to make sure it got there in time. And this feels like the same thing. Like this was just a way to tell Henry Cavill on your birthday, we're gonna announce this, and you're fired. Like you're fired.
The crazy part is, and I haven't heard a ton in terms of that Henry's hard to work with. I know that he feels that his name value is pretty high up there, and wants something in the vein of The Rock. But I do feel like he has name value, and the more time has gone on, the more things he's picked up that people recognize, and they like Henry Cavill. They like Henry Cavill's Superman. And to your point, I haven't seen anything positive as well in terms of this different take on Superman. It's been why we already have a good Superman. And even if you're not sticking to that universe, the Snyderverse, if you're not going to continue that, you already have an Aquaman that's been spun off of that. You have a Flash, you have a Wonder Woman. Why is Superman the one that you're going to change? Obviously, Batman's a little bit of a different story, but he's ready. Like he wants to continue the role. And I hope some of the rumors are true, as they're probably not, in terms of The Rock wanting Superman or wanting Henry Cavill to be Superman and to have an appearance in Black Adam. And I think
he may still be around in cameos, but an actual story established,
right?
Like anything left, any remnants of the DCU may have Henry Cavill as that. But will he do it now after that? After that, basically that backhand that he just got
for the right money, probably.
Does he care at this point? I just don't know if he even cares, because
I like to believe he liked the character enough.
Well, not enough for the reason why I said about the working hard thing is because Shazam's a good example. That wasn't the studio. That wasn't the director. That was Henry Cavill holding out for more. And the director just did, he just did what he had. He just worked with what he had, what he could do. And that was one example anyway of that. So, and then over the years, every time we ever hear about something with Superman, it's always like, well, he wants to be paid more. What I always see is he wants to be paid more for his services. I remember that was the whole point of Mission Impossible, was that was hopefully going to raise his stock up, where WB would be like, okay, it is worth putting this much money into this. I
feel like he's kind of done that. I feel like with The Witcher, I know The Witcher had a following, but I feel like he was the name that brought a lot of people there. Because, and maybe people would have looked at it as, oh, this is a cool show, but I feel like he had the name value to bring people. Same thing like Mission Impossible. Oh, crap, Henry Cavill's going to be in it. So I feel like that name value is there. And to me, I look at it more so of WB just being cheap asses. And maybe he is over evaluating himself, but, look who he's represented by, Danny Garcia and all of them. So they probably see his name value. And that's why some of the Rock rumors feel true, just looking at it that way of like, well, The Rock probably sees the money in this, and they've probably been wanting to elevate his level. That means more money for them, and continue to partner and have him continue to play this great character in Superman. But yeah, it's weird. I don't understand, aside from money, and it's not like they haven't shelled out a crap ton of money. Like, look at Tim Burton getting a ass ton of money to do a Superman movie that was never even made. And you're telling me that Henry Cavill's asking for too much? Like, it just doesn't, it doesn't really make sense. I feel like they're trying to disconnect as much as possible. And maybe they're just using that as, he's a pain in the ass. Let's cut him loose. But I don't know.
This is the thing. And I just don't know if people, because we've been told we're not real DC fans, because we want the Snyderverse to continue, but people just don't seem to grasp what WB is doing. That's why we did that video about losing faith in WB and how the DC is going, because of where the direction that we're going. And people just assume that, we're bitching about the Snyderverse. No, you're missing the what is that? The forest for the trees here, and stuff like that. You're like looking straight into a tree when there's a whole forest, and we're talking about the whole thing. We're talking about the whole damn thing. But no, people are just so anally like, oh, you're a Snyder fanboy, Snyder fan, whatever, all this stuff. no, that's not what it is. I mean, in all these articles, they're talking about the old DCU is done, and they're talking about the Snyderverse, and Zack Snyder's Justice League was, and in quotations from that Hollywood Reporter article, was the last hurrah, and only hand-picked stars will remain. Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, and Ezra Miller. That's what they're talking about, and then the rest is just fading away. They're snapped out of existence. If you want to keep the MCU in here a little bit, like that's, and people just haven't caught on to that yet. And we've been sitting back here trying to tell you that, hey, this is what's happening. This is on our way. We're going to lose everything that kind of made this stuff great. And you guys are just ignoring us. And this is what's going to happen. We're losing Henry Cavill. We're losing Amy Adams. We're losing these characters because WB now is going in this totally different direction. And they're not going to actually embrace the multiverse because they're a bunch of fucking lying assholes that don't know what a multiverse is. Jim Lee is standing there saying multiverse, and talking about it, but apparently they're not embracing it as it really would be. Like, it's just, I don't know. It just bugs me that no one paid attention to this. And now we're losing Henry Cavill as Superman. These characters are gone.
They're going to build a Justice League, sort of. They're going to build a DC universe without the important DC characters. And
yeah. Hollywood's backwards approach to everything. It's just, it's just crazy to see like how like I don't know, is it overcompensation on things like just the I think the Batman is the last good movie we're gonna get. I really am, because Matt Reeves came in at a time when WB was desperate for a director, and he got almost full creative control. So that movie is going to be a Matt Reeves movie. It's not going to be a WB committee movie. That's that's why we got Robert Pattinson as Batman and not like Armie Hammer, which was the studio's choice, because it's a Matt Reeves movie. And that's why I kind of started feeling like it might be the last good movie we get.
The sad part is, and I'm okay with having, the Batman and Joker and these standalone movies. I love the idea. I love embracing the multiverse. But the sad part is we're going to have a Batman and a Joker and potentially a Joker sequel, which we'll get into, that are not involved in your main DC universe. Like these are the big characters that we grew up with, and you're not gonna have a Superman, you're not gonna have a Batman, but it's like you're gonna make me care about Aquaman as like one of your main people in Wonder Woman. I like Wonder Woman. She was definitely a main character growing up, but fucking definitely not Aquaman. So it's like, why would you're stripping away the core that is your universe of all of comics forever. You've now lost essentially the sole creator and why superhero comics exist. You are not going to make a movie around, and if you are, you're actually going to change him. And I'm all for if you want to have a black Superman. I think that's cool. It's cool to change and, as Matt mentioned, take risks and do something a little bit different. But again, why can we not have both? Why can you not continue with what is everyone agrees that Superman, or that Henry Cavill is a perfect Superman, regardless of if they liked Man of Steel, if they like BVS, everyone is like, yeah, that's Superman right there. Why do you not continue with that? He has the name. It's weird.
But again, back to the multiverse, embrace the multiverse. Yeah, yep. Superman, but there's Black Superman. There's Calvin Ellis and Val Zod. Why not use those characters?
Shit, bring them in. Have a team up.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, all three of them.
Like,
yeah. We have a three-way.
That'd be badass.
Superman.
To steal a thing from, I'm gonna get canceled for this, but it was Brazzers, but it was in Mighty Ducks. It could be the Oreo line,
God damn it, Shane! It's a different movie, for God's sakes.
Right.
Thank you, Man of Martian. Hope all the haters
Martin
for you.
But yes,
Martin,
thank
sorry.
You. Appreciate
can't weed. I was reading. I can't weed. All right. Direction under JJ after watching complaining so much. I called it MS2. That was like, yeah. It's going to be interesting because now they're talking about, with that THR article, the Hollywood Reporter article, talking about that J.J. Abrams is going to have the largest footprint on DC movies and shows. And so that means everything, he is essentially going to be the Kevin Feige of the DC.
For now.
Well, yeah, we'll see how long this lasts. We keep saying that about everybody. Jeff Johns, Zack Snyder, and others. I can't think of. There's a couple other ones that we've all thought about at one point. Like, oh yeah, maybe Jim Lee. We've even talked about it
recently, Jim Lee.
Yeah. But now it kind of feels like he's getting pushed back as well. Probably embraced Snyder too much. Probably shook his hand. You can't do that. And so now J.J. Abrams. So now the guy that's kind of failed upwards through things. I mean, I like J.J. Abrams movies. I shouldn't really say that so much. I don't have a problem with some of them. I like Force Awakens. That was okay. It's definitely a mashup of previous movies, and it's nostalgia bait to like 100 degree, I guess. But to have him be the Kevin Feige for now, it just seems like, okay, what?
Well, and with Rise of Skywalker too, I feel like he was pinned in a corner because of the previous movie, because of The Last Jedi. So he had to kind of spend all this time, fixing it. I like the idea of J.J. Abrams. It's fine. If you need to find your Kevin Feige, find a damn direction is really what I care about, aside from a Superman. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe Zack Snyder comes back into play at some point. Probably not, but I want some sort of direction. They've given him a shit ton of money. Can't pay Henry Cavill, but they're going to give J.J. Abrams $500 million to produce. So, according to the rumor.
And so it's like, okay, so here we go. They're going to try this again, but what direction are they going? Again, they're going to have apparently a Joker 2. That was kind of hidden in this article, was talking about Joker 2. So the movie that WB had no faith in, a lot of the people that are still there now are pushing forward with a movie that they had no faith in the first time around, that they barely put any financing behind, that they tried to hold Todd Phillips back on what he wanted to do over fucking pajamas. And yet these assholes want to come in and say, yeah, let's do a Joker 2. Now, that's totally up to Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips. And I'm not sure really money speaks in that situation, because I think both guys are pretty, I don't know, what's the word? They're good. They're good on this. Like, if they have a story, I guess they have a story. I don't know where they can go. Maybe afterwards. I know a lot of the initial rumors from way back when was that it would actually be a prequel. And I'm like, that sounds terrible, because it's just, it just doesn't make any sense to me why we would see him. What are we going to see him do now? Slowly slip into what we saw him in the first movie, like where he's getting beat up all the time again and people are taking advantage of him. Like, I don't see where the story is there. I guess afterwards, if he's in the insane asylum, maybe you could have him do this. But this Joker was never meant to build a crime syndicate or be that opposing figure to Batman. He's not meant for that. He's meant to be the casual dude and just seeing what happens on, whenever someone has one bad day and what they can become. It's, that's what it is. So to have any further stories with this character, I don't know. But I guess we'll see if anything comes of it.
It's funny how much they pander, but they're not pandering the right way, So it's like, oh well, obviously Joker did really well. Let's do a Joker sequel. Yeah, that'd be a great idea. But people are over here wanting to restore the Snyderverse. Everybody wants, for the most part, wants to restore the Snyderverse. Oh, and then let's have a Black Superman. Let's, because we want to be
Black Panther did well.
Yeah,
Black Panther did well. So now
Panther. Yeah. Let's just pander to all of it. It's just the direction, and the more shit comes out, the more lack of faith I have that, like, what are you even doing?
These people get paid millions of dollars and come up with ideas that any asshat with its YouTube program like us could come up with. Like, oh, Black Panther did well. Well, you should do a Black Superman. Joker did well. Let's have it number 2. And I'm sure that's going to go well. It's just like there is no creativity left in Hollywood anymore. That's what it comes down to. It's like, just look at these two universes. They're almost going the same direction. Black Captain America, Black Superman. Like, it's just, they're going and they're going to have a multiverse. They're going in and they're doing the shows on HBO Max will match up to the movies, just like Disney Plus. Like, they're going in the same direction because, you know what? All these movies are written by two assholes that talk about it together and just sell this shit to everybody because it feels like creativity is gone. There's nothing original anymore. And it's just, what kind of stupid shit can we put here to pander to this and this and this?
Yep,
it's just
this demographic. And
it's just, no, let's not build epic movies with great stories and have these epic things with these characters anymore. Screw that concept. Let's not, and I said it 100 times in the 2 streams before, but let's not have Justice League versus Darkseid. Fuck that shit. That's just stupid. Who would ever want to fucking see that?
And if you want a powerful woman character, you don't need Harley Quinn. And if you want a powerful black character, you don't need a black Superman. Zack Snyder did both of those things for you. Had you just followed the fucking formula, the plan that was set in place, I guarantee Cyborg, especially if you would have released Justice League when it was supposed to, Cyborg's movie probably would have done $1 billion. And you know, you have this great character in Wonder Woman that I feel he established. He made a badass, and it's natural. It's not, oh yeah, let's just there's a bunch of money over here, so I'm just gonna throw this type of character out there, and we're gonna make the same type of money because that's how it works. Come over to me, trolls.
Come over, chameleon. Come on. I thought this was a great little meme by Amateur Watcher here. I just wanted to pull this up about WB here. To really, it should have been Hollywood, but it works with WB here. It just should have been Hollywood, but I was just laughing at that one. I thought that was pretty good because it's just like they're just pandering. Like, oh, look at this. We're just going to pander our way through all this and hope that it, and if people don't accept it, it's because, people are terrible. People are evil. Yeah. And that's what the kind
You're
of.
You're the R word.
Yeah. You're the what? Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
For a second there, I thought you were talking about retarded. I was like, what?
That too. Oh, man. I don't know. Oh, the other thing too is Snyder would have given you a great Asian character, and that's what he wanted to do. So it's like, had you followed this, everything would have happened naturally, and you would have been the first. You wouldn't be copying Marvel. You'd be creating your own path, and Marvel would be copying you by shoehorning Black Panther out there. It's just weird. Like, oh man, I think I've said that like 1,000 times, but I just shake my head at like, what is happening? What's going on here?
One thing we didn't talk about was that we did get some Jon Stewart reveals for Wayne T. Carr. If anybody hasn't known.
Yeah.
And so we got to see how the driveway execution works with this and I thought this was I'm not going to show the actual pictures because I just find this meme way too funny not to do, but this meme is just great of Snyder filming this in his driveway. Zack Snyder's neighbors be like,
that's awesome. I did not see that. That was fantastic.
So,
oh man. I just want to address this real quick. So I don't, based on the fact that we got the Snyder cut, the fact that we got it and we got it this quick, I don't think I will ever fully give up hope anymore. But the writing is on the wall. I sent a different article to Matt that was talking about the Samba director or something like that was on a podcast on a show, and he talked about the Snyder cut numbers and how well it did, and we know that it did well. But the writing is on the wall that they do not want to move forward regardless. It does not matter how well it did. WB does not want to move forward with that. It was the last hurrah. It's time to shut the door and move forward. And that's not to say that it couldn't come back. It might eventually. Who knows? I mean, right now WB is in complete shambles. It's a shit show. And they say that they have a direction, and right now it says J.J. Abrams is going to have the biggest footprint. in a year from now, J.J. Abrams may leave Warner Brothers, or leave this project. It's like
and all that stuff falls apart. All that stuff.
What track record do they have? What good, solid track record do they have? So I don't think it's completely pointless to keep fighting. I don't say we give up. I say, we continue to chuck along. But right now, it's like, what are they even doing? They have clearly told us that they are not going to move forward with this, regardless of what the fans want, regardless of the tweets. They're not going to move forward with this. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if the wind shifted and, okay, yeah, now we're going to do it because something else doesn't work out.
Well, just recently now, finally, Zack Snyder's Justice League got released in China. And the China numbers are exploding. It's crazy to see. Some of them seem way too high to be realistic. I feel like some of those are just trolls making up numbers because I have seen some upwards of 200 million.
Because we can't read the Chinese writing.
Yeah.
So this is what Google Translate says. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So some say upwards of almost 200 million. It's been viewed almost 200 million times in China already. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I mean, if it has, holy shit. I mean, that's, I mean, I don't know. It's always a possibility. It's always a possibility. But I think some of the more realistic numbers have kept it around a little bit lower than that. But it's still exploding in China.
Yeah, I think is, oh, man. Thank you. Both.
But see, and that's the market that Hollywood studios want the most, because that is the, behind the United States, China is the biggest market for movies. I mean, there's 2 fucking billion people living there. I mean, it's a huge market. So the fact that a movie that doesn't actually pander to a Chinese audience actually did that well is freaking insane. Because like the stupid things like Marvel does with Iron Man 3, where they added like an extra 10 minutes to Iron Man 3, where they put in this Chinese actor to play a doctor that was working on Tony's little whatever reactor thing in his chest. And they had like all these nice plugs for like Chinese soda or whatever, milk drinks or some crap like that. It was like a complete pander job to it. But yet this movie is just a movie. I guess that's just always what it's come down to me, is that it's just a movie. There's like, I still remember, who is that? I can't remember that woman that was talking with Campy a while back when the Snyder Cut was announced. She was talking about how, there might be some dated material in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like if he's making any, pop culture references in his movie, he's probably going to want to remove those because those might be dated now and all this other stuff.
You're like, what? And
I'm like, have you ever watched a Zack Snyder movie? Like ever? Like other than the technology being dated, maybe like what it would be. It doesn't make pop culture. There's no, what are those? Like in Black Panther, there's none of that crap. And it's always,
no, she hasn't, clearly.
I was like blown away by that. And then you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, there's nothing out of date about it, other than all the actors look incredibly younger.
Oh man, and I feel like a lot of them have been like the president, where they're just so weathered from dealing with the bullshit of WB that they come out the other side as if they, were the president for 4 years. But I one of my first thoughts when I started seeing the China numbers was maybe someone's paying attention, because like you said, that's a huge market. And if people are paying attention, like, damn, this is doing well over there, maybe we should go this direction. I doubt it, but I mean, that would be kind of cool if they realize, oh shit, maybe we can pander to that audience and we'll just release Justice League 2 over there first.
I don't know. It's shit like that just blows me away. Like I don't understand what they're looking at. And again, it comes down to like, it's predetermined. Didn't matter what the numbers were. Ann Sarnoff did that interview or those topics before the movie ever got released, and it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. And, I don't know. There was let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, right here. So, share screeno. So somebody asked Snyder, "Thank you, sir, for everything. WB does not deserve you at all." And Snyder replied, "Nor want me." And
That's accurate, right there.
Yeah, you know, um, I think it actually, and I think it was Mr. Ben Everett's that posted this. And are you guys aware he said this many times before, right? And there's some people that were saying, no, we didn't. Like, we're not in this special circle or something like that. And I'm like, wait. No, he's been saying this for a while now. When he was saying that there was no likelihood that there was going to be a Justice League 2, he has been pretty straightforward that the likelihood of a Justice League 2 is about the likelihood of getting the Snyder Cut released from the start. Like, it just didn't seem like it was ever going to happen. So he says there's always a chance, but there's always going to be a chance with the power of the fans. But
exactly.
But he's been saying this for a while. Like, they don't want anything to do with him. They have just, this was the last hurrah. And yeah,
it's crazy to see how much their heads have to be up their asses, because you had Henry Cavill's stock incredibly high, in my opinion, with a lot of the projects that he's done. And then recently, Zack Snyder's stock was incredibly high. And I feel like it's still been riding out, through Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's Justice League. His name was trending, consistently. Like, he's become a household name, and yet they're not capitalizing on that. They're not using that name, like they would before, like with Christopher Nolan. You keep pumping out those movies of like, yeah, here's Christopher Nolan's going to be a producer on this, and and all that stuff. And that's, to me, isn't that like marketing 101? Is just to leverage like whatever's popular at that time. That's why you have like the the pop culture references, is because you're trying to capitalize on every little bit that you can. And why they aren't doing that with those two, at least like the next movie, capitalize on it now, or do the shit like that you did with Wonder Woman 3 and say, oh yeah, we're going to capitalize on whatever lack of success we had, and we're going to release Wonder Woman 3, and like that's what you're supposed to do. You have Captain America 4 that were right after Falcon and the Winter Soldier is done. Boom, Captain America 4. Let's stay on top of this. Like that's what you do. You keep driving forward, and you have these two people amongst several others that their stock rose with the Snyder Cut, and with everything that's going on, and just Zack Snyder just all on his own, increasing his stock. And you're not going to ride that wave. You are so dead set that no, this is our plan that we have planned out however many years in the future, how many months, I guess I should say, in the future, that no, we're going this direction no matter what. And no matter what. That's asinine.
And it feels like it's just going to be endless. Like, I mean, we can complain. We could talk about it. Yeah. We have. And it feels like every week there's like this news about the DC universe is just like, man,
shake your head.
I grew up at a time when comic movies became a reality, of the things I saw on pages were going to come to life. And now it's just become a ploy. And I get it. Movies are made to make money. Everything is usually made to make money in some form or fashion. It's all about profit. I completely understand that. But when you look at it, it's just what brings these characters to the table from the start is creativity first, then money later. And now it's just fuck all that. Screw anything that could possibly be worth vesting in. Let's just pander. Let's just manipulate these characters into this situation. And again, this is all writing on a goddamn movie that's written by the woman that did Birds of Prey and Bumblebee. Flashpoint is like, it's like all based off of this. Like, this big, ominous freaking movie is going to have somehow the Flash open up the multiverse. And this is where a lot of these characters are going to start. And it's like, wow, like if the Flash flops, what do they do?
Right. They scramble yet again. And J.J. Abrams, you're out.
Yeah. It's going to be another Batman v Superman. If it gets terrible reviews, if it doesn't break $1 billion with all the hype they have into this damn thing, they have a Supergirl. They're bringing back Keaton. There, a lot of other things they could possibly bring him back as well. And it's supposed to open up this multiverse. If it flops, if it, 600,000 or 600 million, never, gets a below 50 on the Rotten Tomatoes meter, for fuck's sake, all that stuff, then what do you do? All these plans are for fucking nothing. And this video is not going to be monetized because I've said fuck quite a bit.
Right. Same. That's what happens when we talk about Warner Brothers and their lack of direction. And oh man, that's why, like, if we can continue just complaining and ranting, because a new article will come out and we're like, of course, this is what's happened. And we've talked about that. Yeah. We've talked about the fact that, and Matt put it so eloquently, if I do say, that we have seen these movies make it to mainstream of something that we grew up with and break beyond just the mainstream and into like everything. Like this is the most popular genre right now that's making the most money, and we've witnessed it happen. And a part of me, the negative side of me, feels like it's slowly coming to an end. That there's going to be a point where people are just like, why do I care about this? Why should I go see this? You've built nothing. You're giving me Birds of Prey. And, and I hope that's not the case. I want to ride this high for as long as we can and have these awesome movies. And I mean, look at the comics.
I did listen to this. I did listen to the film theory guy about the Snyder cut, or that Matt Pat guy. He said that the Justice League, it's what we talked about way back when, that Justice League and Justice League are going to be the branching points for the multiverse. When we thought WB and DC were going to actually utilize the multiverse to its optimal levels, and that Justice League was going to be that splitting point for, Aquaman and Wonder Woman 84 over here. And then we could have the Snyderverse off to the other side, and then the other breaking points for the multiverse. That's pretty much that's pretty much what his film theory was. I'm like, man, that shit's old. We thought about that when fucking back in a year ago. Get to catch up with times, motherfucker.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, they did. It was going to be in its own universe, like Batman. These are all just going to be a bunch of like. I'm assuming what they're hoping they can eventually do, like if they actually go through this plan, is because of all these movies are going to be like Earth 2, Earth 3, Earth 11. And they even did that at Fandom, all these different things, is that eventually we're going to have kind of like an Infinite Crisis thing where all these Superman, because all these Supermen can meet up, all these characters can meet up into this big Infinite Crisis type thing. And I think it'd be more of an Infinite Crisis thing, not Crisis on Infinite Earths thing, because the CW already did that shit. I think it's going to be more of an Infinite Crisis thing, because I think that bodes well better for this type of storytelling. And I think that's eventually what they're going to try to do, because J.J. Abrams is also going to try to introduce Justice League Dark. All those things are going to be their own Earths, I think. And then eventually something's going to Anti-Monitor, whatever the hell, cataclysmic, I can't even say the word, big fucking thing that's going to come destroy something. I can't say anyway, do you know what I'm trying to say? Anyway.
Cataclysmic?
Thank you, Shane. Anyway,
what I do.
And it's going to happen like that. Maybe the Anti-Monitor or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. But again, it kind of confuses me that they pulled out New Gods, because New Gods I think would bode well to this stuff. It kind of introduces the New Gods. You can introduce the Source Wall. You can introduce all these different things to really bring in this big thing. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I like Shane has said, a year from now, I'm not going to be surprised, or especially after Flash, if you see J.J. Abrams steps down from, this and that, and they're going to bring up, whatever, Tom King, or they're going to bring in another comic book guy. Jim Lee's going to go, and they're going to try to bring in another comic book guy and another thing. And, maybe they'll bring in Kevin Feige. Who the fuck knows?
James Gunn was the avenue to open that door.
Yeah, James Gunn's going to take control of everything. Every movie's going to look like Mystery Men now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's mind blowing to watch, guys.
Thank you, Brian, for that.
Oh
man,
which I don't mind Peacemaker.
I really
don't.
Not
John
at all.
Cena,
but
it's just like
exactly. It's fantastic, but why? Oh man.
Way to go, Eric. Way to dive back into that. I still don't believe it. He's going to find out later that...
Well, you're an asshole.
that Affleck slipped it.
Right. Oh, man. I just want to go back to this comment. This was a while ago, but I actually forgot that the new episode was dropping, and I'm looking forward to it. I absolutely love that series. It's so fantastic, and I stumbled upon it somehow originally when it was just on the Vice app. And now it's they've kind of branched out a lot more. So if you're a wrestling fan, actually, surprisingly, even if you're not a wrestling fan, my mom watches this show. She finds it fascinating. So if you like conspiracy theories, boom,
and just Dark Side of the Ring. Fucked up livelihoods.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my mom texts me asking me these random questions. I was like, "What are you watching? What? Oh, Dark Side of the Ring? Yeah." Fantastic.
I think it was the Owen Hart one that got me. That I went and listened to that one or watched that one. I was like, God damn, man, that's a terrible. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's just screwed up thing. And I think Montreal Screwjob was another one that made me.
Yeah, we've heard that story so many times,
but I thought that was a little bit different. I thought it brought a little bit more to it.
I don't know if you've watched the A&E documentaries yet, but surprisingly, it's maybe not necessarily a change in. So they've done Mick Foley and Stone Cold. I believe it's Mick Foley. Now I'm forgetting who episode 2 was. But anyways, they're fantastic, and they give you like different footage and stuff from like stuff that I kind of know Stone Cold's path, but it was different. It's told differently. There was a little bit more that was told, and they're awesome. It's good stuff. I'm at the old age where nostalgia and documentaries is getting me.
Oh yeah, I love documentaries. Like, I like documentaries.
Oh man,
yeah, the Chris Benoit one.
That one tore me up a little bit. That was rough.
Yeah.
Sad. And it kind of disproves a lot of conspiracy theories around that whole thing too. It's just sad. It's sad to see. Anywho.
Oh man. So are we all tired now? Bitching about DC.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All tuckered out, and now we're getting into like a dark area.
Yeah, guys, it's just don't. It's not really necessarily losing hope or anything like that. It's just like you're just looking at how WB. I mean, just look how they treated him, and look at everything he's had a fight with him, and it kind of just spells it all out for you. He even says they don't want me, so it's kind of like even now they don't want him. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, and maybe when the Flash flops, maybe they'll go back to him. But but it's just like, okay, how much longer do we have?
Another good one.
Oh, McMillions. Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen that. Really that's a great one.
Yeah,
that one's insane to me. Because McMillions, it's all based. It's all some fat Italian guy. I just cannot believe that.
It's awesome. But it was on something before it was on HBO Max.
I think Hulu.
Netflix. Oh, okay, maybe on Hulu.
Because I remember I had Hulu off and on, and I think I subscribed to Hulu just to watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, so I heard how crazy it was.
Worth it.
Oh, dude, it's the weirdo shit that you just don't know about that happens in America. Like you just fucking like the Class Action Park and stuff like that. That action park, McMillions, just these little corners, these pockets where this weirdo shit happens that we just none of us ever have a clue about. It's just crazy. There's a park where kids are dying and getting injured, but everybody doesn't give a shit.
Yep,
that is fun because you can smoke coke and you can fucking snort some coke and then ride down a slide,
go sex in some shack.
Yeah, go have sex in a shack somewhere and stuff that. Like come back
again. Watch Class Action Park. It's fantastic.
Go down some Class 5 rapids and shit in this little inner tube,
right? And just smashing into people. Oh my gosh! Are you kidding me?
Oh man, good times, man. Good times. Yeah, make sure you check that out, guys. Class Action Park
and the Last Blockbuster.
The Last Blockbuster. That one's like tough to watch because it's like, come on, like it's like the license that she has for it might be being anyway. Yeah,
indeed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably. For sure.
I think we are just for showing your username.
Oh man, yeah, it's yeah. We got demonetized a long time ago. They hate us. Anyway, all right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up. We're going to call it good there. We got an hour 15 in. Come back next week for us bitching more about DC. I'm sure there's going to be more news coming out about how much WB screws something else up. So, I don't know. Maybe with our Superman, we're going to have never mind. I'm not going to make any more jokes.
I almost said a couple earlier. I'm like, I should probably reel it in a little bit. Almost said some dark jokes. But thank you guys for everyone who contributes, who comments, who joins us on these Thursday nights. You guys are awesome. And yeah, make DC great again. Something.
Oh yeah, and also watch Invincible. I meant to bring that up.
Yeah.
Especially the last episode. Oh my god.
Oh. I know what you mean.
Into this world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shane every day.
Oh man, I now know what you mean when you said, do people really bleed that much? Because it's just like everywhere. And then he's like holy shit, what just happened? Yes, Hardboiled. It is in the works amongst a couple other things, but it is in the works. We've started it. We've started formatting. It's been
Shane
formatted.
Started it, and I've ignored it.
We'll get there. It's hard to talk about the positives when WB just breaks you down a notch all the time, consistently.
I almost want to play this now. Here, hold on. I don't know if I can. We'll just share audio just to play the, spoilers for. Man, maybe I shouldn't do that for the end of Invincible. Maybe I won't. I love this at the end so much. I don't know. What should I do, Shane?
You teased it, and now you're not going to show it.
Okay,
were you going to show that part?
Yeah.
Just show a brief portion of it. This might kind of ruin it a little bit.
Planet. You live to see every fragile, insignificant being on this planet. You live to see this world crumble to dust and blow away. Everyone and everything you know will be gone. What will you have after 500 years?
Oh.
Watch this.
Right in the feels.
Animation. Boom. Oh, man.
Right in the feels.
Oh, dude, I love this show so much. I hope that because it's animation, I hope that they're able to produce it a little bit faster than like The Boys, where it takes like a year and some stuff. Hopefully, it's animation. We can get like 2 seasons in a year. Hopefully, because 8 episodes isn't enough. I need more.
No, not even close.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thank you very much. You guys are awesome.
In case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and